What is the quickest way you've seen someone mess their life up? Story 1. A new kid gets hired. 18, just started college. Good looking, well dressed, whole 9 yards. The first week on the job steals $2,000. Doesn't even do it smartly. Just loads up some cards and hands them to a friend. Directly in front of a camera. 2 years later, we still can't figure it out. Steals just enough to make it a felony. Right after turning 18, and in the dumbest way possible. It's like he intentionally wanted to screw up his life. Opinion. I guess he just wants to start the playthrough on hard mode. Story 2. Cousin broke up with his girlfriend, but not before getting her pregnant. He proceeded to hook up with 2 more women. He now has 3 children, all with birthdays in the same week. Opinion. The chances of 3 ovulating women all carrying to full term. Now that's one unlucky guy. Story 3. Knew a kid in high school who pretended to be one of the prettier girls in school and texted this desperate geek, asking him for inappropriate pictures. He then proceeded to send the pictures around to everyone at school. He's still on the as offenders registry for distributing child inappropriate pictures. Opinion. What a POS. Targeting an unpopular kid just for a laugh. F that guy. Story 4. Someone I know drove drunk because it was only a few blocks. Unalived 3 people and is now in prison for 20 years. Opinion. Why didn't they just walk if it was only a few blocks? Story 5. Friend's birthday. Got super drunk. His friend offered him a ride home when he wanted to leave. He ghosted. No one knew where he went. He drove home or tried to. Hit a tree on a road with a speed limit of 30. Police said he must have been going 70. They think he passed out. He is not smart anymore. He's like Forrest Gump now, which means he's still smart enough to know he's dumb and remember what life used to be like. He can walk, but he knows he will never play sports. He gets upset when he forgets names. He's never going to be independent, and he knows it. He's attempted unaliving himself at least once since the accident. Don't drink and drive. Opinion. That's really sad. It's tough to be aware of your limitations while struggling to do things you once found easy. That sounds like a form of mental torture. It's like being rich and all of a sudden going broke. Story 6. A guy from my country, third world, was studying here in the US. A big privilege and usually takes a lot of effort and money. For some reason, while in Miami, he tried to steal a plane. Right off the tarmac. The news says he was troubled. I prefer the word idiot. Opinion. This is so underrated. He actually tried to steal an effing plane. Story 7. A developer at my job here on a work visa from India was hitting on the young Latina cleaning lady. Asked her to come to a hotel with her, and then whipped his D out. Did this at the office under cameras. She pressed charges, and he is being deported back to India, losing his job making 6 figures. A solid way to mess your life up in a matter of seconds. Opinion. He deserved it. 100%. Story 8. A friend of mine decided to pay for an apartment for him. His father, stepmother, step-sibling, and mother, all under the same roof. None of them worked. Opinion. Poor guy. If he wasn't before, he certainly is now. Story 9. Someone in my family was going to be a great professional hockey player. He was young and already in the junior league, and so close of being recruited by the NHL. He was working out every day to be in the best shape possible. Then he was caught stealing from the other players in the locker room. He got beat up and then kicked out of the league. Apparently, he had been stealing for a while. He was lucky that nobody pressed charges against him. His career ended that day. His bad reputation followed him everywhere and no other team wanted him anymore. What an effing idiot. Opinion. He traded a successful and wealthy future for scraps because he probably didn't want to wait to buy something fancy and decided to cut some corners. The search for instant gratification has messed up people's lives since the beginning of time. Story 10 worked with a guy who inherited a few $1 million and a successful business in the livestock farm after his grandfather passed away. It all went up his nose within a year. Don't be fooled. The white powder illegal stuff is a nasty thing. Edit. Going to add some more to clarify some things. I am pretty sure the white powder illegal stuff was not 100% at fault. I wouldn't doubt it if he was doing more than that. He was obviously not good at handling money. He bought a bunch of big toys, a new truck, jet skis, four-wheelers, things like that. He started partying more and taking care of responsibilities less. The new toys disappeared, farm went up for sale, but he was still partying and doing illegal substances. After a while, that all adds up. I saw him a little over a year after he quit working with us. He was living with one of my co-workers. Looked like he had lost about 50 pounds and was driving an old junker truck. Opinion. When you have a chance to play Stardew Valley in real life, but it goes wrong. Story 11. My brother was a felon at age 18. Distribution plus possession of a long-distance hole puncher. In and out of prison for 15 years. At age 33, he has a complete turnaround. Does the church thing. Becomes a contractor, making like 150K a year. His first 3 years, his wife and he get into an argument. She leaves. He gets angry and buys a bottle of tequila. His neighbor comes over to check on him, as he is now in his basement using his illegally obtained and owned AR-15 at photos and trinkets, etc. Well, the neighbor called the cops. Brother ends up in a standoff with them for a few hours. Now he is looking at a plea bargain of 8 years. Opinion. To be honest, it doesn't really seem like a complete turnaround, because he was carrying while also being a felon. Story 12. Way back when they didn't have the urinalysis testing in the Navy or any branch of service. That changed in 1982, shortly after I re-enlisted. I quit smoking the green stuff. We were warned of the probable consequences if we got caught after the first Navy-wide test. One of my friends, a shipmate who worked directly for me, decided to not take heed because he only had less than 3 months left before his enlistment was over. He was caught on the next one and was given 45-day restriction and extra duty, a loss of half a month's pay for 2 months, and a reduction in rank. F them, I remember him saying as he smoked a little bit more of the green stuff. Only appeared 30 days later after he found out he had to take another urinalysis the next day. Instead of doing his last 2 months then getting his honorable discharge, he was out 2 weeks later with a bad conduct because he told the captain to suck his D and threw a punch. He was given a choice. Take the BCD or go before a court-martial, then off to Leavenworth for a couple of years. Messed up his life. Opinion. Illegal substances in the military are a great way to mess up your life really quickly. Story 13. A month after graduating, the valedictorian of my high school took his graduation money and savings and drove to California, where he bought a ton of the green stuff, pills, and the white powder illegal stuff to bring back home and sell. Got caught coming back somewhere in Iowa. Got sentenced to 15 years in prison for bringing that stuff across state lines, which makes it a federal crime. Opinion. If he was the valedictorian, the rest of you must have been extra special. Story 14. Graduate student in mathematics at University of Illinois. Early 2000s. Crossed a busy street, got hit by a car, and didn't survive. No illegal substances use, or alcohol, or anything like that. Probably got lost thinking about her research. Just like that. Damn, it's over. Opinion. This is how I worry I'll lose my loved ones. That's why I always tell them I love them before heading to bed or going out. You never know. Story 15. My friend's sister was engaged to a great guy. His only flaw was he was too tough to wear a seatbelt. Crashed his car and didn't survive. A few weeks later, she found out she was pregnant. So now she is a single mother. So that's at least 3 lives he messed up by not wearing his seatbelt. Opinion. Real men eat pavement for breakfast. He was tough, but the cement was tougher. Story 16. Skateboarding without a helmet. Fell. Suffered a traumatic brain injury. Spent months in rehab and therapy. Has seizures related to injuries. Successful mechanic, no longer able to work on machinery, which was his passion. Now lives in his very small hometown with his parents. And has an unfiltered personality, which makes building meaningful relationships almost impossible. Opinion. Some things are worse than losing your life. Story 17. My sister got hooked on an illegal substance. Went from making $250,000 a year, being a trauma nurse in 2 hospitals, having a home, 2 luxury cars, married to an amazing guy, the whole 9 yards, to now living on the street in just a strung out mess. Edit. $219,000 a year. For some reason, people seem more concerned with her salary, so I did the exact math. Opinion. Over $200,000 a year as a nurse, she must have worked insane hours. And on top of that, she worked in trauma? No wonder she broke. Story 18. An 18-year-old kid threw a brick through my store's front window and took off with $20,000 of the green stuff. Ended up getting caught an hour later. He will probably spend 20 years in prison. Edit. The 20 years is for more than just the burglary. He was running from the cops. There was a vehicle pursuit, and he hit several cars while fleeing. He also was 18 and not allowed to be in possession in the first place. If I remember the jail booking report correctly, he also had a suspended driver's license, which I assume also means he had a previous criminal or at least juvenile record. Regardless, the dollar value of what was stolen makes it a felony. Opinion. He's so stupid I'm actually impressed. I mean, he had a purpose, stuck with it, and decided to escalate a situation that would probably only cost him a couple of months. Congratulations. Story 19. My ex started smoking that Rocky illegal substance, and in 6 months' time we lost our home. He now faces 7 felony theft charges, and we broke up a 20-year marriage. He messed his, mine, and our children's lives for the selfish decisions he made. We were doing the best that we had ever done financially, and now I am starting over from scratch, and our kids are embarrassed by their father, who used to be a great dad. Opinion. I wonder what made him start using. You don't just pick it up like that out of the blue. Feels like there's more to the story than he messed up. Story 20. Some guy in my school collected inappropriate pictures from as many girls in the school as possible, either getting them himself or from friends. He put them all on a public file sharing website. The link got around school and one of the girls found out and turned him in. School and police launched a full-scale investigation and he went to court. They lessened his child inappropriate videos charge to something lesser, and he got 2 years probation and kicked out of school. He got off light, but such a stupid way to ruin your life and reputation. Edit. To everyone asking, the school I went to was in Michigan. Opinion. People who do this once normally keep doing it for the rest of their lives. I believe he should have gotten a much harsher sentence. Story 21. My ex admitted to regularly doing bad and inappropriate things to a girl starting when she was 8 years old. In a phone call with the girl, 8 years after it started, he did not know she had contacted the police, and they had gotten a warrant to record phone calls. He got a 45-year prison sentence. Opinion. Oh my god, what a POS. Let's hope he stays in jail for the full 45 years. Hopefully the girl is doing well now. She sounds very brave. To be able to talk to him about what he did to get him locked up is amazing. Story 22. Party was getting broken up by the cops. One drunken idiot got aggressive with a cop. Apparently, the dude kicked the cop. Got charged with assaulting an officer. Opinion. I'm a firm believer that we would live in a better place if people didn't drink alcohol. Everyone talks about how bad illegal substances are, but I've heard of the most atrocious things people did. They did while being drunk. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to receive notifications to my latest videos.